Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you're here for the first time or you've been here before and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. It will take just about 1 minute to do that, so you can as well be seeing every other videos I'm dropping firsthand. You get notified when I drop videos, so please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So now moving forward, I'll be talking about my delivery experience. It was really a tough one. See the man here. The reason why I'm saying this story, the reason why I'm eligible to say this story. So it was actually a tough one. I gave birth in the period where everywhere was actually shut down. So I said in my previous video that I registered with Reddington Hospital, Lekki, and you know when you're in your third trimester, you get to have a very frequent appointment with your doctor, unlike first trimester where you just get to see your doctors probably once in a month, except there's an issue. And second trimester, probably maybe late second trimester, you get to see your doctors twice in a month. But when you are in your third trimester, especially when you are close to giving birth, you get to see your doctor more frequently. So I have this appointment with my doctor at Reddington on the 21st of October. And if you can remember very well, the SARS shooting Lekki Wahala was on the 20th of October. And we all saw that most of the affected people were taken to Reddington. So actually Reddington was so full, they could not even take in their own patients. So that was on the 20th. We were seeing the news, and you know on the 21st everywhere was shut down. That was when you have hoodlums looting places, burning banks, burning places like that. So everyone was literally at home. You don't even want to go out because it was very, 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 very dangerous. So I was supposed to see my doctor on the 21st. That was the second day after the Lekki shooting. Then I knew I wasn't going to go because everywhere was shut down. No, it wasn't really advisable to go out. And then I got a message from Reddington Hospital that all appointment has been cancelled till further notice because of the thing that is going on at that time. So everybody needs to actually stay home. So on this fateful 21st that I was supposed to have an appointment, I wasn't even due. I was about 37 weeks, 5 days. And then I started having this frequent contraction. And you know, having contractions in third trimester is normal, yeah, because there's always a Braxton Hicks contraction, but that will just come once in a while. But when you start having it frequently, you know that it's like labor is near. And you know, contrary to what we've all known, seeing movies or probably reading stories, that if anybody wants to give birth, their water breaks. No, it's not everybody that their water breaks. So let's just say 1 in 10 people. So you don't have to wait till your water breaks. So until when you start having this constant contraction, you check in minute interval probably. So the ones we used to see in the movies are when somebody wants to give birth, the person will shout, "Yay, on Romeo," and throughout till they take the person to the hospital. It's not always like that. There's always an interval. The contraction will come, then you feel the pain. You might not be able to even move your legs or anything. Then it leaves you for about 20 minutes or thereabout. Then it comes again. So when it's now getting more frequent, probably it comes and then for about 10 minutes. It's back again, so you need to be worried. Probably labor is near. But when it's now coming so frequent, like every 5 minutes, my dear, you're about to put to bed. So on that 21st in the evening, like everyone was actually home. Everywhere was full. You understand, because of what is happening. So nobody is going out. About 9 p.m. I started having this contraction. Unlike the one I used to have that would just come probably once in an hour, and that one is Braxton Hicks. That one is normal. Then this contraction started coming like let's say 15 minutes after, and it was frequent. It was so frequent, and I was worried, like, this better not be labor, because how am I going to do it? This is my first time. I don't even know how it's I don't know how to go about it. Like, I don't even know what to do. I'm totally inexperienced. Hospitals are closed. Everywhere is closed, and it was even 9 p.m. It's very dangerous to go out. And even earlier that day, I heard the news of hoodlums killed some guys along Jakonde. And if I'm going to go to Reddington, I'm actually going to go through that road. And so many people have been talking about hoodlums killing people, burning places. How am I going to do it? And it's late in the night. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I was crying. Even people around me were seeking help. How are we going to do it? Then we started calling Reddington, if Reddington would be able to send ambulance. Because let's say if these people see ambulance, probably they would allow us to go, knowing that it's an emergency. But then Reddington also told us that it's difficult for them to send an ambulance, that they would not be able to send, because there were so many hoodlums on the road. Even army, there was hoodlum army fights, and it was serious. They said sending an empty ambulance is dangerous, because there won't be any patient inside. And you know, there's this issue with this Reddington, because knowing that all these people were taken to Reddington, eyes was on that hospital, so they are very careful. So we were now looking of ways to do. They said they were going to call some team, probably from Reddington in VI, if they would be able to send ambulance. And at this time, the contraction was already very frequent. Was coming like was coming like 10 minutes interval, and I didn't even know what to do. I was actually helpless. At that point, I was already crying, because thinking about everything I've learned, I've read about childbirth. See, there's no matter, and there's no apps to download. There's nothing you would have read though. See, when that thing comes, that's when you know that it's done on you. Okay, it's like I'm having this child, and everything you've known will fly away. You know, hey, everything you know will just disappear. Then it will just be you and your fate. It will be just you and your situation. So at that night, we don't know what to do. We actually wanted to go out. Okay, let's just find our way to Reddington. They didn't even allow us out of our estate gates. They said outside is very dangerous. That shebi is when you get to the hoodlum that you tell the hoodlum that somebody is trying to give it. But if they shoot you at sight, what do you want to do? Like, they didn't even get to see you. They didn't even get to hear what you're about to say. So I was just scared. Then okay, we now have our doctor on the other side of the phone, that in case the baby decides to come out, so he's going to help us get through it. Help us get through it. Who is going to deliver me? Amateurs like me. Hey, this wasn't how I planned to give birth to my child though. But then there was nothing I could do at that point. So I just stayed calm. I was trying to be cool. The mothers that are around me start asking me to be doing like that. I'll be better. And then I think he helped a bit, but at some point it wasn't helping. Yes. It wasn't helping. And so I just stayed calm. We called our parents, and though there was no even way to get to us, but everyone was praying. Everyone was praying for me. I was praying too, that God, hey, this is not how I planned it to. Hey, God, help me, save me from this one. I'll be very happy, because I had so many plans. Why is it that is when I was in contraction? It's when everywhere was shut down. Ifemi, why did you decide to come that night? Why? It wasn't your time yet. So it was serious. And so I was just praying that if I could linger till morning, in the morning, at least you'll be able to see what's going on. We can't just go out at night like that. So I was on our doctor was on the other end of the line. He kept calling, putting us through. So at that point, the baby wasn't anywhere close, but baby was planning to come. So I was just keeping my cool. I could not sleep. We were home. We could not sleep. We was just planning that late morning comes so that we would actually know where to go. So Reddington sent a nurse to me in the morning to come check me. And that morning, so the nurse came and they said they already gave my file because we might not be able to get to the hospital because of what was going on. So my file was with him. So in case there's an hospital around that is functioning, that we could go. That day I was crying. In the morning, the guy came. He checked me, was like, the baby isn't that close, but then let's go. Starting from our estate gates, hoodlums at the other side, with guns pointed at the car. I was in pain. Thank God for Mommy Dollars. She was around. She came. Even after everyone told her not to come because the road was bad. Even she was almost attacked. But God helped her. She came around. So we got into the car. We started going. And you know how African moms are. The first set of hoodlums that we saw with guns. That was like, where are you going? Where is that? This, that. She came down and started begging them. She was on her knees begging. Hey, is my daughter or she's in labor? You know, some stupid people. One was like, hey, my one call. If it's money, there's no problem. We give them money. We got to another one. Say, my daughter. That day, God, I've never seen that kind of publicity in my life. We have to be begging them. Anyone we see that, please, so my daughter is in labor. This one is in labor. So we got to the first hospital around because we could not get to Reddington. We got to the first hospital around. We got there and the doctor checked. Doctor said, I'm not sure this baby is coming with age. I was already tired. Me that I said I wanted to experience vaginal birth, I was already considering cesarean section. Let me just have this baby. And at that point, I couldn't even wait to meet my baby. I wanted to see what it would look like. Like, what would this baby look like? I've been wanting to see. I cannot wait to just let this burden off me. I want to see. Like, I want to have to hold him. Then when the doctor was like, they are not sure this baby is coming with the head and there, but so okay, let's do a CS. They went to set the theater and they discovered that they could not get fuel. Oh more, hey, what kind of problem is this one? There's no fuel. Okay, back into the car, onto another hospital. And thank God, my doctor that always attends to me at Reddington was available to come meet us at the other hospital. So we decided it was going to be CS. I was scared though. I was scared because it was at the last time, like we just agreed, okay, let's have a CS. Like I didn't plan to have a CS. I've never planned of it. I was scared, okay, how is this going to turn out? So God help me. They were preparing the lab and the next thing, the doctor came to invite me. Even at that time, because of the situation, recording things was not even something that would be on my head. It was later that I was like, if I know now that I was taking shots of this of that situation so that it would be a memory for life. But then that was the least of my worries. So they came, they prepared the lab, there was fuel, the theater was okay. So they prepared the lab and they came to call me when it was time. Everybody was there. I was really scared. And I got there. And Dr. Idowu was telling me this is just going to take about a few minutes, even not up to an hour. He was telling me the first 4 minutes your baby will be out. I was like, wow, really? I was happy. I can't wait to meet my baby. And then we got into the theater. There were about 3 doctors. Was it 3 doctors? Like 4 nurses, and I was just looking at them. I was seeing the instruments, the big equipment. I was scared. They said I should lay on the bed, and they administered an anesthesia for me. The first one was injected in my spine, my spinal cord. I don't know they can inject somebody in spinal cord. God, it was really crazy. And they said I wasn't going to feel anything from my stomach downward. Everything was going to be numb. And to check if it had started working, the doctors was touching my leg and was asking me if I felt it. And at some point, I wasn't even feeling anything. Like they were touching my leg, they were pinching me. I wasn't feeling it. They said, okay, yeah, I started working. And that was when they started. So that anesthesia didn't let me sleep. So it's not the one that would make me sleep. My eyes were open, but there was a blind like this that was separating my head from my stomach, so I could only see the head of the doctors and everyone in the theater. I could not see my own stomach or anything they were doing in my stomach. And it was about 5 minutes. I just heard the voice of a baby. I was like, God. And the next thing, because they've already assigned roles to everyone that was in the theater and said, okay, you would deliver the baby, you will do this, you will this. So the lady that was supposed to deliver the baby first, and I think was cleaning for the baby's clothes was already there. 2 minutes, where is my baby? She didn't bring baby. I want to see my baby. So the doctor just told that, let her see her baby now. I also saw my baby. I was like, God. That was the most beautiful, memorial event I would ever feel. It was bliss, like it was heavenly. I saw him, and that was where I understand unconditional love. I felt it like, no, this is a part of me. I was so happy. And they continued what they were doing. And at some point, I started feeling pain. So that means the anesthesia was wearing off. So they had to administer another one to me. And that one made me sleep. So I didn't even know what was going on. And it wasn't as if you sleep. It was as if I was dead. Like I was seeing myself in an empty space. Like an empty space. Like I was alone. It was as if you were like I don't know. It's not really a palatable experience. This second anesthesia was, no, I think it was worse. I was just gone. It was as if I was not there. Like I was just wandering around in an empty space. And I think it was part of their work to be talking, because the doctors kept talking. They never stopped talking at some point. At any point, they never stopped talking. I think this is to help the patients still feel alive. Where I was still hearing their voice. I was in space, like I could not see anything. I could not see anyone. Like I was just there, like I was gone. But I could still hear them talk. They were talking about the Lekki shooting. So I could still hear them talk. And at some point, I came back to life. And the next thing, I was squeezing the doctor, because the doctor was holding my hand to keep on checking my pulse while the operation was going on. And then I held him so tight. And the first thing I shouted was, where's my baby? Where's my baby? Because it was as if I rose up from dead. Like, where's my baby? And he was like, oh, we've given him to his father. I said, okay. And then I smiled. And I think they were suctioning already, so... Oh, it was a nice one. I don't want to shed tears. So, that was it. That was how it went down. And they closed me up, and the doctor were saying, I know you're a social media influencer. How can you help our hospital? You know, also to make sure that, no, you can talk, you're still alive, everything is fine. And everything was fine. After the whole thing, the only thing I want to see is my baby. I want to touch, I want to hold him, I want to kiss him. That's the only thing I want to say. So they said they should bring me the baby probably after everywhere is cleaned up, because it's a baby and you can't expose the baby to so many things. So when everywhere was cleaned up, they brought me the baby. The father was holding it. I was like, wow, such an angel. Oh God, unconditional love. Like I loved him instantly. That was love. I think that's just the major definition of love at first sight. Like I just felt the connection with him, but then I couldn't really hold him because I could not still feel my legs. So I had to wait for some hours till the anesthesia will wear off completely, so I could feel my legs, so they can wheel me back. To my ward, to the room. And then when we got there, this baby was crying. He was crying. That was when I now realized why I was really eating in my second. He was crying. Like he came, and the next minute he was already crying for food. He was screaming at the top of his voice. And don't forget that everywhere was closed down. Where are we going to get food? And I could not even breastfeed him at that point, because the breast was even shocked. Okay, she has given birth. Breast milk don't flow like that.